So let's create pricing for your products. Let's come up with the price, right? You don't want to just use your mind to say, I'm going to sell this product for 500,000 naira, or I'm just going to sell this product for 10,000 naira. Yeah, you can. You can actually if you want to, but I highly suggest you don't do that. What we're going to look at in this particular video is kind of understand the science of how you can come up with pricing. Okay, now when it comes to pricing, there are primarily 4 types of pricing. There is the cost plus pricing. So basically, forgetting the cost of the product, adding a particular percentage margin or margin of your choice, and then selling it at that cost plus pricing, right? That's the first one. The second one is the premium pricing. So premium pricing is basically those people that have branded their product to be as a luxury brand or as a standout item in the society. So there's a reason why a Chanel bag is more expensive than a random bag. There's a reason why a Rolex wristwatch is more expensive than a Seiko or a Casio, something like that, right? That's where premium pricing comes to play. There's the other one of penetration pricing. So penetration pricing is just basically you look at your competitors in the market and you just bring it at a price lower than their pricing. Penetration pricing. So most times with penetration pricing, you are not making a profit. You might even be making a loss, right? But just because you want to get customers quickly, once you get your customers, you then increase your pricing. But then last but not least, there is competition pricing. So penetration pricing and competition pricing sound very similar, but they are different. Competition pricing is just basically looking at your competitors, A, B, C, D, E. Okay, what price are they selling it at? 2K. Okay, good. I'm selling my own for 2K as well. So you're just going with the same price as your competitors and then trying to win on other things. So maybe your brand features, your USP, unique selling points, things like that. Okay. Now, as an e-commerce business, especially you as an e-commerce business owner, you only want to focus on 2 types of pricing strategies or models. Either you go the cost plus pricing route or the premium pricing route. Now, the reason why you want to go one of these 2 is with cost plus, you already have an idea of the cost of your product, right? So you're already sure the amount you're making as a profit, right? So that's cost plus. With your premium pricing method or strategy, you can charge very high margins, right? However, you need to actually make it look luxurious. You need to make it stand out. Now, the issue with cost plus, right? The main con with cost plus pricing is the cost can change, especially in Nigeria. Costs change a lot. So you could sell a product for 30,000 naira, right? The cost of that product is, let's say, 12,500. Okay, 2 weeks later, the cost of that product could go up to 17,000 naira or 18,000 naira. Now, the margins that you are playing with, you can either increase your pricing again, to cover that margin, which a lot of people do, or you have to then reduce your margins or reduce your profits to accommodate that increase in cost. The choice is yours, right? But most people, what they do is they just add the cost that has gone up to the price and then take the price up again. The challenge is you lose customers that way. I've seen the ugly side of that, and you lose customers. Now with premium pricing, the major issue with premium pricing is you will not have a lot of customers that will be able to patronize you, because in Nigeria there's not a lot of floating cash, right? You would have customers if you brand yourself well and package yourself well. You would have customers, but they wouldn't be a lot. Now, this is not me trying to dissuade or make you feel bad, because not every business requires a lot of customers. Okay? So yeah, you pick. Either you go cost plus pricing or you go premium pricing. No need to go penetration or competition pricing, because you don't know what your competitors are doing. Looking at the profit margin calculator, you can see here you have your cost price and your fixed delivery cover. Now, when I say fixed delivery cover, all I'm saying is ideally, you do not want to charge your customer full logistics price. Part of the Part of the way to begin to build a strong relationship with your customers is for them to get the understanding that you are covering some of their delivery, or you are offering them cheaper delivery fees than other competitors or other people selling products in your business. I'll give you an example. If the delivery costs 4,000 naira to go from Ikeja to Lekki, right? What you can do is remove 2,000 naira. That 2,000 naira, I'm not saying that you remove it from your margins or from your profits. No. Remove that 2,000 naira, but add it to the cost of your product, right? Add it to the cost of your product. And then when you're sending your customer the bill, you tell your customer that, oh, this is the product price, 30,000 naira, right? But delivery is just 2,000 naira. Now, your customer is going to think that delivery is 4,000 naira because you're not the only person that they are buying from. They are buying from other people, and every other person has told them delivery is 4,000 naira. But you say delivery is 2,000 naira, and they're like, where are you sending it from? Oh, we're sending it from Ikeja. Really? Your delivery is cheap. Oh, mama, thank you so much. It's because we're trying to build a good relationship with you, or it's the first time customers discount, or it's how we like to treat our customers. We have a good deal with our partners so that we can get the best deal for deliveries, things like that. These are quick ways that will help your business stand out immediately and all of that, right? So always have a fixed delivery cover, and then you have your selling price. Now, what I always do is I have the selling price excluding VAT, because depending on your business, you might be having to pay VAT. I don't know how much you're making in your business, but you pay VAT, and then it automatically calculates your gross profit per unit and your gross margin per unit. Now, your margin is the margin I pay attention to the most, because on average, as a cost plus pricing business, your margin should be between 35 to 50%. That's a comfortable place to be in. If there are any emergencies, if there are any, issues in terms of returns, refunds, all of that, you don't take a massive hit or you don't take a massive loss, right? So you always want to stay between 35 to 50%. Anything above 50 or 55%, that's some form of premium pricing, in my own opinion, right? Where you see the green, put your product name, put the cost price, what delivery cover, how much are you putting, and then your selling price. Your selling price, you can always change it. As you change your selling price, your gross profit margin automatically would change. So sometimes when people don't know their cost price, they buy the product in bulk from this person. They don't know how they're supposed to calculate their storage costs. They're supposed to calculate the logistics of sending it down, things like that. So I have a cost price for that. And in that cost price, you have your cost of goods per unit. So in your invoice, right, in the invoice that you've gotten from your supplier, or even in the conversations, how much did they charge you per unit item or per item? That's what you put here. How many units did you buy? That's your number of units. What was the total shipping cost you spent? So if you spent to get the item from China to your doorstep, or to get the item from Apapa to your doorstep, or to get the item from Anambra to your doorstep, what did you spend? What did you spend on logistics? That's your total shipping cost. Everything would automatically calculate after that. Your storage costs. Now, some people, they rent a space, right? So one of my businesses, I actually rent a space. Okay, I rent a space for the year. Nothing fancy, just a small room. Somebody goes there every 2-3 days, make sure everything is there, does a stock count, make sure everything is good, and that's pretty much it, right? There's a table and a chair there. Like I said, nothing fancy, right? So people do this from their house. Obviously, we are doing it from your house. There's no storage cost there. It's your house, you pay rent already, right? So calculate it for your business. Again, there are formulas in this sheet. So everywhere that you see green, I want you to update that. If there's no green, leave it alone. Don't update it. Don't break this sheet for yourself. Now, if you don't have any storage cost, let's say you operate from your house, leave it at 0. If you went to pick up the item yourself, maybe they didn't ship it to you, what's the cost of your fuel? If you don't know the cost of your fuel, and how many times did you fill your tank? If you fill your tank once, What's the total cost of filling your tank? That's your total shipping cost. Number of units and cost of goods per unit will be in your invoice. So that's pretty much it, right? So that's how you want to calculate your profit margin calculator. And if you don't know your cost price, this is how you calculate your cost price.